Hey guys, welcome to my review of the Torero XO, which is a new supercar, hypercar that's part of the Criminal Enterprises update on GTA Online. Now what I'm doing here is I'm actually purchasing the car off a friend at the LS car meet, and this way it gives him a voucher to use on basically getting a free livery, and those liveries you can apply to any of the cars that you bring in. So if you are going to buy the car and your friend already has it and has tuned it up and everything, I recommend purchasing it off them, as they can still keep the car, but you're just purchasing their version, and then you can make any other modifications that you want to, as it just helps them out, and you get more RP and reputation for the car meet. So as you can see, this car is extremely fast and is actually very, very good. It can handle extremely well, probably not as well as the LM87, which is the other new one with the Criminal Enterprises, but this car is extremely fast and good at handling. It's probably quicker than the LM87, and the handling is probably just not quite as good. So all in all, the purchase price is 2,890,000. So once you do all the upgrades, that's probably 500k added on. So you're looking at roughly, 3.5 mil, or just under 3.3, 3.4, and you can probably earn that quite easily using the KO Perico heist method to make a lot of money. And that's in a guide that I have in my channel that you can watch. So as you can see, this thing handles extremely well. Not quite as sticking to the tarmac as the Pegassi LM87, but it is, all in all, on some tracks this will be faster. On probably most tracks this car would be faster. It would be only the tracks that have extremely tight cornering and lots of corners and not many big straights where the LM87 will outperform this car. But this car is, I've seen some speed tests done online, and it's just, yeah, it's extremely fast. And looking at the visuals of it, it is a very nice looking car. As you can see, you can open up the bonnet, the rear of the vehicle, and you can look in the engine bay. And if you zoom right in with a scope, you can actually see right there on it, you can see the Pegassi emblem. So yeah, this car is extremely visually appealing. It's obviously paying homage to Lamborghini, as you can tell by just the shape of the make and model of the car. Now you can put whatever livery you want on the car. You don't have to go with specific stock livery, and I just like the way the rear of the vehicle looks as well when you're driving. So handling on the streets, it drives extremely well. It's quick, it's responsive handling, it's got good braking, you can gain speed extremely fast. Not quite as fast acceleration as the Coil Cyclone, but it starts to match that top speed once you do get there, and it honestly doesn't take that much longer to reach that top speed anyway. And yeah, just it's almost extremely fun to drive in a way, probably more so than the 87 just because of the speed it can get up to on the big straights. So driving around the town, it's definitely a very fun car to drive, and I do recommend trying it out if you do have the cash. See, that's the problem, is if you don't have that much money in GTA, some of these cars aren't worth getting. It just depends really how much you've grinded and where you're at with that. So as you can see, I have a play around with the liveries. You can just customize it to whatever you want it to be. I kept all my friend's upgrades that he did. There is no HSW upgrade, but this car is, yeah, it's really fast. It's up there with some of the fastest hypercars in the game. So I quite like this livery, and then I just thought about throwing some of that pearlescent metallic paint that you can get at the Los Angeles car meet, and I ended up changing the primary and secondary paint just to visually make it sort of a bit more flamboyant, I guess, and not so dull and dreary. Depends what look you're going for. I mean, this hypercar, like the rear of it just looks awesome. Like with this definitely go for a small spoiler, because then it just accentuates the back of the car, and the back fins at the bottom just look really cool, looks really awesome. So I highly recommend checking this car out, at least if you know someone that does have it. It's it's one of those cars that you would just spawn in and want to drive around, get around the map, and it's because it's quick, it's fast, it's really good handling. It's probably could win a lot of races with the right driver. So if you have the money to spend, or if you're looking to grind up to get a car, I would almost choose this one over the LM87, because this one is just a better all-round car, and the fact that it's two-door as well means you can take people for a drive. As you can see, someone texted me asking me how the car drives, so they obviously it's a bit of a head turner. And with the interiors, you can just, doesn't really matter too much unless you like playing in first person. You can have a play around with that, change, like if you like lighter colors, then go for that. If you don't, then pick darker colors. And some people like the sort of sleek black look. I quite like to sort of change it up between the cars, because I own so many supercars in this game that if it's just the same every time, it gets a bit boring. So you can go for just the straight chrome, but I prefer to change it up. So as you can see, I'm just going to take it on the straights on the motorway here, and as you can see, it's just the acceleration is really good. Once it gets to that top speed, it's maintains it quite well, and it's very, very fast. It's up there with the 811 in terms of top speed. Obviously, the the brand new Jester Classic will smoke this thing in terms of the infinite acceleration speed wheel trick. That there's also, I made another video on that on my channel if you want to check it out. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think about this car, if you think it's worth getting. It is a lot of money if you were to just be starting out in the game and you don't own many cars. This is more for, and you want to make a big purchase on your first supercar, this car is definitely one to consider. Unless you already own a supercar and you don't have much money and your supercar is relatively good. You have, like the Coil Cyclone 2, or you have the Dubachi Wagner, or the X80 Proto. If you have just one of these like top end supercars, then it would probably be like a car that you would buy as a goal further down the line. I wouldn't necessarily jump straight into buying this thing if you don't have much money. As you can see, I'm just driving it off-road to see what it's like, and off-road is not an off-road vehicle, as you can see. So yeah, I do not recommend taking it off-road, and I'm just driving it on the wet here to see how it handles, and it does surprisingly well. If you do use the brakes to help you with the corners, then you'll be fine. Driving this thing around is a lot of fun, and it's definitely, if you have the money, I highly recommend picking it up. But yeah, guys, this is basically the Torero XO. It's a fantastic car. It's brand new, just out with the Criminal Enterprises update, and I highly recommend it if you can afford it. So yeah, guys, if you want any other money making tips, just chuck a comment in the comment section below. And if you want to see me showcase any specific cars, just let me know in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Really appreciate your guys' views. And yeah, if you like my content, maybe subscribe. Sweet as. Peace out, guys. Have a nice day.